We're in a live exercise here to get this right.
What we will be doing here, for those of you that don't know, will be a behavioral experiment in which we will be simulating the conditions of life. Some of the subjects will be deprived of their civil rights.
And that is exactly what has been done. You have to understand that since this country was conceived and brought into reality, Freemasons have controlled it. And their goal always, from the beginning, was to bring about a one-world totalitarian socialist government. Our forefathers knew full well the foibles of human nature. And this country was described in their own words as the great experiment. And the experiment, folks, was to find out if we truly could be responsible, could rule ourselves, would not give in to the foibles of human nature and give our country and our individual freedoms and rights away. But they knew when they did it that that's exactly what would happen, because they were probably the best at understanding human nature of anyone that I've ever read. And I've read all of their writings and letters and works and the Federalist Papers and everything else that they've done. And they knew full well that this people would give away what they built. And they knew that if we could be responsible, if we would not be apathetic, if we would not cave in to the desires of socialism, to the weaknesses of human nature, that this would have been the New World Order. We have failed, not them. They gave us every chance, folks. So don't get mad at our forefathers.
You lock up any animal long enough and the strong's gonna eat the weak.
77. He's a ringleader. So we have to. You scare him.
This place, it belongs to us. Do we have the proper respect for authority now?
I mean, if you just get down and dirty on this, you'll find that what I'm telling you is absolutely true. And one of their main weapons that they use against us is to divide us against each other, so that while we're running around stabbing each other in the back, they are putting the chains on all of us. And when are you people going to realize that and understand it? All during the Cold War, there were no Russian families sitting around their table plotting on how to do away with Americans, and there weren't any American families doing that either. All of us were concerned with our children, with putting food on the table, with educating our children, with trying to build some kind of a good life. That's all that ordinary people care about. Doesn't matter what race they belong to, what religion they belong to. Conflict creates change. They create the conflict that they know will bring about the solution that they want. They get it to appear as if the people are screaming for the solution, and then they give it to them. Something that the people would never have accepted in the first place. But remember, conflict creates change. They believe in the Hegelian principle of conflict resolution. You have a thesis, an antithesis, and the clash of these two creates the solution to the problem which they've been aiming for all along. Now you also have to understand that controlled conflict creates desired results or change. So the method of bringing about controlled conflict is to have your people leading both sides of the conflict. So when you talk about Republican or Democrat, forget it. At the highest level, they're both the same. When you talk about populist versus communist or whatever it is, forget it. At the highest level, they all belong to the same organization. When you look around in the Patriot movement, remember, most of the leaders in the Patriot movement are on the same side and belong to the same organizations as the leaders of the secret societies that are trying to destroy this country. The conflict between the two, which they are trying to create now, will ensure the destruction of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and then they will step forward with the answer. 1,000 years of peace under the United Nations. But you're going to have to make concessions to get it. You're going to have to give up your freedoms, your individual rights. But they will protect you. If you buy that, folks, you are indeed a fool.
Live exercise here to get this right. We're in a live exercise here to get this right. We're in a live exercise here to get this right. We're in a live exercise here.
Why don't you stop this?